So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chisom Iduma as always, and I'm here today to break tables. I'm here to say what is a problem and no one wants to talk about. I'm here to talk about Africa. Okay, let's focus on Nigerian. I'm here to talk of Nigerian culture in terms of childbearing, child spacing, number of children in your family, and all that good stuff. So let's just get right into this video. There was a time when it was a thing to have a lot of children, especially because a lot of Africans, let me focus on Nigerians, especially because a lot of Nigerians then were into farming, and so a man had to have so many children is that correct? Okay. So that he has help, he has people to work for him on the farm. That is a very selfish reason for wanting to have children, if you ask me, but that's not my point for now. Okay, so you have so many sons and so many daughters, so that while the sons are planting yams, the daughters are planting pepper and tomato and what have you. And so when people look at you, they see you as a prosperous man because you have a house full of children. You have shown people that you can reproduce. You have shown people how viral you are, and you have shown people how fertile your wife is. And you know, that was a thing, and that was amazing. Okay, then also, it wasn't so expensive raising a child, because you hear sometimes when you hear proverbs, you hear sayings, it gives you an insight of what used to happen at the time when this was a wise saying. That was, I think, when the saying was coined, that it's not one person who raises a child, it's a community that raises a child. Now it's not a community that raises a child, it's you are your husband, or you are your wife, or your baby father, or your baby mama. However you people are doing it, it's the two of you who brought the child into the world who will raise the child. We have seen some of the seemingly harmless things that were done as part of child raising that is the bane of our society today. That is the reason why some people turn out the way they turn out. Some people nurse some of the hurts they nurse, and you know, it's all falling into place. And so it totally beats me when I see how Africans, especially Nigerians, still approach childbearing, child raising, everything that has to do with starting a family. Okay, let me paint a picture here first. You get married in Nigeria. I don't know if that's the same way for you people in the Western world. 3 months, you're not vomiting, you're not spitting. They're already looking at you like, they're already passing comments. This one, your eyes are swollen, I'm sure that something is baking. Oh, this one, you are so quiet. Is the smell? People automatically assume that you are ready for a child. And then what this does to you is that somehow in your psyche, if you allow these things, you begin to feel like there is something you ought to do. There is something you are failing at. There is something you're not getting right. Okay, the societal expectations begin to sneak up to you, and this happens really subtly, so you don't even realize when it happens, and suddenly you find yourself under the pressure of, oh, you want to give birth, you want to do this, you want to do that. Excuse me, are you aware that you're actually supposed to prepare before you welcome a child? Are you aware that before you bring a human being into this world, let us excuse your selfish reasons of wanting to show people that you're a fertile land, or wanting to show people that you're a viral man, you know, you can shoot your shot. Let us excuse those selfish reasons. Are you aware that you're supposed to prepare mentally? You ought to prepare. Spiritually, you ought to prepare. Financially, you ought to prepare, because this kind of babies they make these days. I know raising children is expensive, but these days it's much more expensive, because everything about them, the prices of everything to take care of them, not to give them world-class treatment, or just to give them at least an okay treatment. The prices are off the roof. I mean, my baby just started school this month, and so I went to buy some of the things she needs for school. and I saw school bag. School bag. I did not say handbag, but I mean school bag that they carry to school. I saw the one of 30K. I saw the one of 25K. And I'm like, okay, what are we saying? Okay. Now, what usually happens is that the first and the second children automatically take on the responsibility of either being nannies or assistant parents. And before you know what's happening, their childhood is gone. Okay, another thing that happens is that she doesn't even have the time. Okay, I'm talking of the woman. She doesn't even have the time to study. Okay, this is what works for this child. This child is a child who thrives when words of appreciation are said to him or her. Or this child is a child who thrives when you do this or do that. No, she just moves to the status quo. So you do something and then you just spank the child, whether the child is 2 years or the child is 3, just quack, quack, quack. And naturally the child stops that thing out of fear and withdraws, and in her head she's a disciplined mother. Now let me shock you. Are you aware that the word discipline has the same root word with the word disciple, and it means first to teach, not to kill, not to beat. It means to teach. Now, if you ask me, which you did by clicking on this video, I know that one of the major reasons why it looks like Africans are into abusive form of discipline is because most times they have a lot on their table. I'm not excusing this. I'm just saying it as it is. You don't expect a woman who has 9 children to now start saying, okay, let me understand your point of view. Okay, Junior, did you break the TV because you were trying to understand the intricacies of the TV? She doesn't have that time. She just goes straight to the point. And then because this achieves an immediate expectation, you feel like you're a great parent, but you're raising emotionally unstable kids. You're raising kids who, it's only when they get to a setting where things are different that they can now put into perspective some of the things that are not right in their lives. There are some things I see around me and I'm like, you know, this generation Z, millennials, they are so opinionated. Everybody has something to say. Everybody has something wise to say. Everybody says, don't tell me nothing. Everybody says, I said what I said and all that. And most times we don't stop to think, okay? Now you see a family. They are basically striving to make ends meet. I understand that when people get married, if there are no plans, like I said before, about, okay, babies should wait, babies should come at this time and all of that, and there are no barriers, naturally, the next thing that happens is pregnancy, okay? Somehow the first one comes. And it hits you like a tornado because you were not really aware that it's this emotionally tasking raising a child. You were not really aware that it's this financially tasking raising a child, okay? And so you want to step back and evaluate. You as a mother, you don't have a full grasp yet of this motherhood thing. It's not like sometimes when you wake up, it's not like any mother actually gets to a point where they have a grasp of it, but you get what I mean. You're still in that state of hula baloo. I mean, you're still trying to find a routine. You're still trying to balance business, work, and motherhood, and you want to be intentional and successful at every one of them. And while you're still trying to grasp this thing, your child turns 1 and adds a month, adds 2 months, adds 3 months. People are already saying, have they shot the goal? And the next thing you do, you don't even take your child into consideration. Because trust me, the moment another baby is on the way, the amount of attention, the amount of care and everything you give to this other child automatically will reduce. It doesn't matter how you do it, it will reduce because you're a human being, you're pregnant, you have a lot of demands on your body and all of that. You don't want to be here and here at the same time. Colomental is real, so you reduce the time you give to this baby. If you're not careful, you begin to yell at this baby. You begin to expect things from the other baby, not even realizing that this baby is still literally a baby. And then I ask myself, who forced you? I mean, what's the race you're running? Where are you running to? Where? That's a special space, you know. I'm not talking of maybe you just wake up one day and despite, of course, every contraceptive has E for error. Okay, they could fail. I'm not talking of you just wake up one day and you discover that somehow, I'm not talking of something like that. I'm talking of consciously, intentionally, you go and you carry belly where you know that to buy food for the first one is still difficult. That's the reason why you hear people saying, oh, my parents had 8 of us. You know, they struggled, they went through a lot. It was so difficult for them raising us. But today we are happy. And sometimes in my head, I'm wondering, okay, why did you have to have as much as 8? Okay, it's a different thing if they say when they started having children, things were okay, they were doing well, and all of a sudden, things took a turn for the worse. Everybody understands that. But the first 2, it's a struggle. It doesn't occur to you that, okay, I love children so much, but let me wait. Or let me slow down. Or let me just, you know, you just continue. Till they are 6, they are 5, they are 7, they are 8. And then the next thing, you start taking out your frustration on these children. You don't even, at this point, you're not even intentional about anything that has to do with those children. You don't even maybe have, like we see today, a time where you get them to affirm things. You're not even conscious that, okay, when you're speaking to your children, you don't want to say things that affect their self-esteem. Everything you are I'm even talking of mother. I'm not talking of the fathers, because the fathers have it equally rough. You see someone who is always hustling, who is always out there on the road trying to make ends meet, and these ends don't even seem to meet in any way at all. And so it's a constant struggle. But that's where I grew up. I know a woman who, as we speak, she has 10 children. Read my lips, she has 10 children. I didn't say the wife of a chief. I didn't say the wife of a king. I mean a woman who literally has nothing doing. She could come to your shop today and sweep, and you give her a loaf of bread. That's how she makes money. How about her husband? Her husband is a mortuary attendant. Everybody knows this woman. As at the time this thing started, she had about 5 children, and it was, I mean, when she gave birth to the 5th one, I think it was my mom, if I'm not mistaken, who paid her hospital bill, because the hospital detained her. They said, you're going nowhere, you will stay here, you must pay us our money. When that baby was born, it was just okay. However, people help, they were giving the baby, they were using for diaper, they were using wrapper, like old wrappers, they would tear it, and that's what they would put on this baby. That was 5. Then when I think I just got into the university, or I had just finished secondary school, I can't remember exactly, but then when I was very much around in Port Harcourt, she had 5 children. Now my sister just came back and told me her children are 10 and still counting. And when someone talked to her about contraceptive, she was like, her husband will not agree. A mortuary attendant. My sister was like, that all she knows is that that woman is not mentally okay. She now behaves like a mad person. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm surprised you're surprised. A woman who barely feeds herself, barely clothes herself, has 10 children under her care, and you expect her to be mentally stable in this country where a cup of rice is sold for, I think, 200 or so. I don't know exactly. Her first son is now a thief, like a petty thief who just pilfers anything he sees. I mean, one of these people who you plug your phone and you're not careful, they pick it up and they go and sell. You're in your shop, you're not careful, they pick one thing and go and sell. As much as it's wrong to steal, that boy is just trying to get by. And the woman is still giving birth. She's still giving birth. I know it's not this bad in a lot of Nigerian homes, but at the same time, I realize that there are a lot of people. I don't want to be exact about this scenario for privacy purposes, of course, but there are people who you hear that they have another baby, and in your head, you are worried. And let me tell you, it's this indiscriminate production of children that gives people an entitlement mentality. You will not see them. They have one uncle. They will not say, that, you know, they even help us. That uncle you're talking of has 2, 3, 4 children. And that uncle is intentional about everything that has to do with those children, because he wants to give them the best. He wants to give them at least an okay start up in life. And you expect that your uncle to automatically bring all of you under his umbrella and suffer for all of you, so that all of you live below the basic standard of living, just like you're doing in your house. If you look around you and you realize that if a child comes into this home now, we cannot feed that child well. We cannot be emotionally available for that child, even physically available. We either put that child in a boarding school, or that child never really gets parental care, or that child never really even gets all of the attention they deserve and desire and crave for in that early stage. I think you should have a rethink. The fact that you're married does not mean you are ready to start producing children. Give yourself time. When you know you are mentally, financially, everything ready, you can now start trying for children. I mean, Africans think that because you can go to where they used to carry belly and automatically get pregnant, or because you can get a woman pregnant, you're ready to be a father, you're ready to be a mother. I mean, how many of us take out time, like sit and study, like read about parenting, read what is expected of a parent? Everything that achieves success, you have to be intentional about it. Everything that has a desired outcome, it should be something that is planned and prepared for. What kind of children do you want to raise? How are you going about being intentional as a parent? Do you take out time to read, okay, when this baby comes, what can I do within the first 6 months of life? How can I be a good mother? How can I be a good father? How can I be a supportive husband? Have you corrected yourself? Have you talked to yourself? This is your tendency of when you talk to somebody, say, see your nose like cow. Have you worked on your psyche that when I have my children, I will not tell them abusive words, because I don't want them growing up tomorrow and feeling that, oh, this part of their body is an issue? Are you doing any of that? No. You can even go as far as making little notes. Me, I make notes. I'm looking for those stickers you put on the wall to make notes to remind me on things. I want to be very intentional with my children. I am very intentional with my child. Notes. Stick them on the wall. What I should tell my child every day, how I should watch my anger. Okay, this person is a child, I'm the adult, I'm expected to have a control of my feeling. When this child does things that really get to me, what are the things I should do? What are the things I should say to the child? When this child is a year and 2 months and he or she is not working yet, and her friend who was born a month after is already walking and running, what do I say to this child? When I'm angry, when I disagree with my partner, how do I want this child to see everything? Just be intentional about everything. And if you're intentional about raising your child, you're intentional about the things you want for your child, trust me, you will have the number of children you can comfortably be the best of yourself to, both mother and father. I'm not saying having a lot of children is bad. No. You can have as much as 44, like that Ugandan woman, no problem. But my question to you is, what are the deliberate steps you've taken? What are the deliberate steps you've taken to ensure that these children you're bringing into the world turn out well? I'm not even talking of the one that when you give birth and your first child is a girl, people are saying, you should be grateful to God. She will help you to train your children. I don't understand. Did I give birth to an helpmate? So honestly, this is a wake-up call. Older kids definitely should have a sense of looking out for their younger ones. But I'm still saying, don't steal a child's childhood because you cannot plan your life well. At the same time, I am not saying every child should get to holiday in Dubai, in UK, whatever. But make sure at least within your means, you're giving your child the best you can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a thing or two. Please share this video. Share this video to as many people as you think who would like to see this video. Let them know that nobody is competing with having a number of children with them. And if you like this video, please subscribe. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.